Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody's doing good. I hope everybody's staying safe and, most importantly, staying sane, because these are unprecedented times. As you can see, I've got Claude with me. Hello, Claude. How you doing, mate?
How you, Daniel? Are you right? Are you okay,
Yeah.
mate?
Not too bad, mate. Not too bad at all.
By the way, you sent the thank you for your generosity yesterday on the health national health thing. Apparently, what it went to the super chats, and I'm having problems at the moment, but it's slowly I'm getting the super chats over. So if you haven't noticed whether your money's gone over, it's just that it's taking time to transfer from super chats to the NHS system. So eventually it will go over. So, and I do apologise, but I did ask everyone to put it through the link, but everyone's put it. Some people have put it through super chats.
Super chats, yeah.
And apparently, the system is working so slow that I'm having trouble transferring it. But eventually, it will be transferred over.
Yeah, no worries, Claude. Listen, for anybody as well who hasn't checked it out, I'm sure most of you have, go and check out that show that Claude did yesterday, and Claude and the Bansters. It was a great show, great talking points, and it was all for a good cause for the NHS. They've been absolutely working their backsides off in this unprecedented situation, and Claude and the Bansters just wanted to give something back to the NHS. And listen, it's a great cause. Go check it out. I think people can still donate, can't they, Claude? Can people still?
They can. Yeah, they can still donate. It's still up on the show is still up there. If you want to watch the show, it's a good show. We've had a good discussion, and yeah, I think you'll find an enjoyable show, and you can still donate to the show itself. But thank you for everyone that did donate anyway.
Yeah, brilliant, mate. Listen, absolutely fantastic. And also, guys, if you've not checked it out already, or you just want to watch it back, go and check out my brilliant show with Kevin Campbell yesterday. Absolutely fantastic show. Listen, that I was looking at the stuff on that this morning and got great views already. And listen, go check it out. Brilliant. It was really, I really enjoyed talking to Kevin Campbell. Listen, we enjoyed it so much we lost track of time. so listen, when you're talking about the Arsenal, listen, anything's possible in it. But go check that out. Go and check that out.
Very also, enjoyable. If you're not, very
also,
enjoyable.
If you're not,
wasn't enjoyable. Listen, very enjoyable. I watched it right through.
It was brilliant.
And I tell you what, an hour and a half, and I was. You had made some great points, great interview. You put the right things to him. Excellent, excellent one-to-one interview. Very well done, and well done for Kevin Campbell.
Absolutely brilliant.
He gives his time up. He gives his time up to me as well. And you know what? Genuinely one of the nicest guys you could ever have on, and shows you that there's some nice guys out there in the sporting world. It's a really lovely guy. Thank you very much.
And I was just going to say exactly the same thing, Claude. In a time where footballers, not even just current footballers, but ex-footballers, are coming under scrutiny because of all this, with the wage cuts and everything that's going on, and they've been in the firing line. And then for Kevin Campbell to kindly come onto your show a couple of weeks ago, I think he was on, and then to come onto mine, that is brilliant. Absolute top quality, and he's a sound guy, Kevin Campbell, really sound guy, and he knows his stuff. Do you know what I mean? He really knows his stuff. And listen, it was just a great discussion. It was an absolute fantastic discussion. And it was like I said, we got so engrossed into it, we lost track of time. But yeah, go and check that out. Also, if you're not subscribed here, do hit the subscribe button. I also want to say as well, I've gone over 300 subscribers now. So in literally, this channel's only been going since the end of January, and this is more than what I expected. Listen, I expected it to my subscribers to grow, but in a lot slower. So thank you to everybody who's contributed to this channel, to watching this channel and supporting this channel. And thanks to Claude for promoting the channel, and all the Bansters and everybody who's helped to put the word out there. So thanks for that, Claude.
No, pleasure.
So as you can see, guys, this is just a bit of a chat and Q&A. So we're going to answer some questions. But before we get into that, I just want to talk to you a bit, Claude, because I've seen something going around today that the Premier League had a meeting to discuss the season. And it just seems to me that all the clubs want the season to be completed. But they're not sure that they're going to get it in done by the 30th of June. What do you make of that, Claude? I don't know whether you've seen the report that come out today.
I haven't seen. I actually, you know what? I've not had a good day today because I've been in and out, dropping out, bad sleeping patterns, feeling very tired. I don't know what it is. I'm thinking maybe it's this lockdown. I don't know, but I haven't seen the report yet. I'll have a look at it. But if that's true, yeah, I think it is going to be a struggle. I think their worry is that players are coming to the end of their contracts at the end of the month, at the end of June. And if it's not completed by the end of June, you've got a problem with players' contracts. So my suggestion is that these players haven't been playing at all, that their contracts they have to work another few weeks off their contract, extended, because they're not exactly working at the moment, are they? So
no.
I know they're doing their little things at home, which is great. But as far as the club's concerned, they're not playing games. They're not doing this. So really, I think they owe the club that they're with a few more weeks to extend that contract for a few weeks to finish the season off. But then you go into the legalities of it all, and they can kick up a fuss. So it's
I agree.
Morally, I think they should, but then it's not about morals. It's about legal issues, and I don't know what's going to happen here. At this present moment, we are set for the 7th of May.
3 weeks. That's it. The lockdown's going on for 3 weeks.
That's just the minimum.
Do you know what, Claude? I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be brutally honest with you now. I'm fed up of this lockdown already. Do you know what I mean? Listen, I'm just sat here and I'm thinking, listen, I get it. I get why we're all doing it, because we're all staying safe, and it is to protect the NHS, of course, and that, I'm fully behind that. But at the same time, listen, this staying indoors is not doing my mental health any good. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have ups and downs days. I have times where I'm just like, God, man, I just could do with getting out, and I'm so lucky that I have a dog, because if I didn't have a dog, I would not be going out at all. So I'm lucky that I can get out and have a walk, because if I didn't have that, listen, I'd be going a lot more stir crazy than what I am now.
Yeah, it's not good. But the thing is, I think, I've had enough. We're all had enough, but we've got to carry on until it's made safe for us to go out again. I mean, it's no good us all going out and then they make it even worse. And if they stop the lockdown now, and suddenly there's more people got more and more infected, it wouldn't be nice, would it? So we have to wait. We have to be patient. I know how hard it is, but it's 3 more weeks, and then hopefully after those 3 week minimum, there won't be too many more after that. But the only way we can get this over and done with is if
people comply. Yeah,
comply and don't do stupid things, and go out for picnics and play in the park. You know what I mean? Let's now start to be sensible. Stay indoors. All we have to do as human beings, all we have to do is a simple thing. Look, the nurses, the doctors, they're putting themselves at risk with their work to help people. They're doing a fantastic job. All we have to do is a simple thing of staying
Yeah.
indoors and going out for a little walk here now and again, and might do a little bit of shopping maybe twice a week or whatever. If you can do a big shop, do it once a week, and then then you're that's all you have to do. It's simple. It's sacrifice, a little sacrifice like that, and we could
Yeah.
all be back. We could all be back to normal again. But until we start doing that, we're not moving. That's why I think we would have been even further forward had we been more had people really abided by the rules. But we're not. I'm afraid.
I also think the government, if they'd have been a bit more proactive as well, we could have had this situation under control a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing. So how is it out in the parks and that in London, Claude? Because like down here,
I'm sitting across Finsbury Park, and there's people lying on the grass. There's people just playing a little bit of I think it was a 4 or 5-a-side football game going on here in the park. So it's not great, but then they'll have to learn. But I think now the police are starting to now tell them to start moving a bit, and that's good. I think.
I have to say, Claude, just while we're talking about this, I had to laugh at your comment yesterday about bringing in the shoot on site. I had to listen.
Bit tongue in cheek, but sometimes the wake up. I didn't say shoot. All I'm saying is make sure you've got the thing to say. Look, either you move, you've got time to move, or go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm serious, because what they're doing out there is by carrying on the way they are carrying on, is they are putting people's lives in danger, and this is where I really messed up. Terry, while you're on the chat, Terry, can you give me an instruction how I can become the moderator on
a moderator channel? Yeah, I want to make Claude a moderator on my channel. So
if you can send me a message on my phone, Terry, so I know how to do it, because I don't know how Daniel wants to make me a moderator, but I don't know, he hasn't got the thing to know how to do it. So can you let me know? Okay, wait for your listen, Terry. Right.
Yeah, well, thanks for tuning in anyway, Terry. Listen, thanks for checking this out.
I was appalled yesterday, Daniel, because there was certain comments going on there yesterday, and I couldn't do nothing about it. And they were directed at Melina. Melina was sitting there, and there were horrible comments coming from a young lad. And I don't know if he was a young lad. I don't know who he was, but he was making horrible comments to Melina, and I thought it was horrible. And I couldn't get on. I couldn't do nothing about it. I tried to. I reported him to YouTube. I've actually banned him from my channel. I put a ban, because I think he actually came on my channel. Someone came on my channel asking me why I banned him, and that is the reason. I don't want anyone like that on.
Yeah, and I echo that. On my channel.
And that's why I'm trying to stop all this rubbish. You know what I mean?
And I echo that, Claude. Especially and this goes for anybody on my channel. And generally, people are good. Listen, I've got my regulars who come on here. Listen, I don't want my regulars in jeopardy of feeling like they get attacked in the chat. So please, guys, do be respectful of what you're putting in the chat, and remember, you have to remember that once you put stuff out there, it's there. And once you write it, and once you put it out there, you cannot take it back. So just be careful. Just be mindful of what you're putting in the chat. However big and clever you think you are when you're writing it, just remember that will eventually one day come back to haunt you. So just be careful. Just be mindful and be respectful. That's all I ask, especially on my channel, and I'm sure Claude would say the same on his channel.
Yeah. Apparently, you should have 3 clicks next to the chat text box.
Yeah.
Even a username. Set up one list of moderators for your channel. moderators remain on the list until they are unassigned. Yeah, I can't do it from. I can't do it from here.
Yeah. I'll have to figure that. I'll have to figure that out. But listen, Claude, what I'm gonna listen. What I'll once this stream goes out, comment under it, and I think I can do it that way because I can click on the person's name and that way. So once this stream goes out, just click on the apologies, guys. Like this is probably boring for you. Listen, once this stream goes out, click on.
So the thing is, Daniel, they're taking advantage, and I don't like this. I don't like it. But he's not in the chat today, the guy. So I'll be looking at, and if what I'll do for today, Daniel, anything like I done yesterday, I just report it to YouTube. I just
report it to YouTube
under harassment. Under harassment, and I'm just not having it, mate. I'm not having this.
No, I agree with you, Claude. Listen, I agree with you. And listen, a lot of these people just sit behind keyboards and all they do is just think they're big and clever, and it's not, it's not. But anyway, what do you make of Claude Stan Kroenke supposedly putting a cash injection into Arsenal? I've seen a report coming out today.
All the people that don't have said he doesn't do anything for the football club. You're going to get fans that are going to say, "Oh well, why don't he put it on players?" You know what I'm saying? So you never can win. Listen, so it's good. I don't know what sort of cash injection he's putting in, but it's good that he's doing something. That's one of the owners doing something about it. I mean, other owners are not even bothering, are they? They're rather
putting the staff on furlough and
one specific owner, not naming any names, that's doing it at the moment to his staff and has not changed his tune about it, and he's still doing it. So it's
it's one of them, isn't it, Claude? It's one of them.
That's the troubles when you get a Cockney running a Northeast club, isn't it? Really?
That was a disaster. And the thing with Mike Ashley as well, Claude, and I said this for quite some time, is that him and Newcastle weren't a good fit because in many ways it is similar to the Stan Kroenke Arsenal situation. And is that if you're good, especially like Arsenal and Newcastle, we have possibly two sets of the most passionate fans. Listen, Newcastle fans are absolutely mad for their club up there, and as we are about Arsenal. So if the owner's not investing properly in the club, the fans are going to be on his case, and that's the same with in both respects of Arsenal and Newcastle.
Yeah.
So anyway, guys, get your questions in as well, because me and Claude are going to answer them and maybe have a little discussion about them. So put your questions in, and we'll get to some of those.
Yeah, let's have a look. Is there any questions coming in?
Let's have a look. What's going on here? Also, guys, do subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I can't keep stressing that enough. Listen. And do smash a like on this video. It really helps the channel. It helps it grow. It helps get my channel noticed a bit more. So please do that. I'd really appreciate it if you could all do that for me. So what we're going on in the chat, Claude? What are people?
Yeah, someone. I'm just looking at this now. Yeah, most of the questions and most of the things they're chatting about is greeting each other on here. So at the moment, there's no real. They're all greeting each other, asking each other what sort of day they're having and things like that. So yeah, when there's someone puts a question up that we can actually talk about,
we can actually talk about. Yeah.
Do you want to talk about? Arsenal's latest, what is Stan Kroenke doing? Is Stan Kroenke putting his hands in his pockets?
Where do you think the cash injection will go?
Refusing to pay cut, which I can understand that as well.
Claude, where do you think the cash injection will go? So and I've seen a lot of people go, Arsenal, Kroenke's going to put a cash injection. There we go. It's immediately going to go on the team. I don't think it's going to go on the team. I think it's going to go on the staff that aren't getting paid.
To make the cash injection is probably just to make sure that players are getting paid, so their money. So what he's doing is trying to keep them, make sure that these players still get paid their wages. So maybe at the moment, unless he's putting that injection in, he can't pay the wages. I don't know. I mean, it's that's how I see it. I mean, I don't know what anyone else will see it. Arsenal Vlog says about why. Let's have a look at what he says here. Arsenal Vlogs. Why don't people? Oh, why don't people not protest? I know you said before that protest doesn't help because we don't want our fans to argue. Protest on what? What are we protesting for? I don't. What are we protesting?
Listen, I've met.
No, hold on a minute. We are in a situation where, sorry, Daniel, but we're in a situation at the moment where we're not. There's no football. Everyone is losing money hand over fist. So what can a fan protest about? I don't think we have any right to protest at the moment. We just got to get on with it, and hopefully, once the new season starts, we've got to get used to the money's not. There's not so much money about to buy players. We might have to rely on youth systems, things like that, and it's a sad situation.
I've said as well, and listen, I've said, and I've had this question a lot on my streams. Protests are ineffective because Stan Kroenke is never there at the games, and although you've got hierarchy at the games, they're not going to listen to protests. They're if anything, protest is going to harm us more because they're going to look at us as a fan base and go, do you know what? Our fans, all they do is kick off. And especially in the wider footballing world, they're going to look at Arsenal and they're going to go, do you know what? Arsenal's fans, all they do is moan and complain and kick off. Listen, I know we've not had the greatest of success in the last decade, but I actually think it'll be more better for us if we listen. We know that there's players out there that aren't good enough for Arsenal. We know that they're going to probably, half of the team is probably going to get shipped out in the summer. And listen, I fully believe that Arteta is going to do that. I fully believe that Arteta is going to come in. He's going to listen. I think he knows the players that he wants to get rid of. And, yes, it's going to take time. And I think as fans, we have to just get behind the team, don't we, Claude? We have to get behind the team and encourage them. I certainly don't want to go back to stadiums, especially the Emirates Stadium, where fans are fighting amongst each other. Fans are just so disinterested in the game of football and would rather have a punch up because of somebody's difference of opinion. I hate that. I hate that, and it's not a good image for our club.
Anyway, listen, there's a question from the Banster, one of my
the Banster,
my right-hand man, I'm Maguna Terry, who's done a hell of a lot of work on by the way for my channel, and very thankful for that. He said the young generation want to sell Aubameyang and cash in. I think that it will put us back 3 or 4 years. We need to keep him at all costs, in my eyes. What is your opinion? I'll let Daniel speak. Daniel, in your opinion, right?
Yeah.
What is your opinion? And I'll and then I'll say what I feel.
So my opinion on Aubameyang is, obviously, I'd like to keep him. I would love it if we kept him. But listen, if a player doesn't want to be at a football club, and however good he is, however talented he is, and listen, Aubameyang is a goal scorer. He's a top class goal scorer. We're probably never going to get a player with his goal scoring ability. Possibly maybe Martinelli in the future, but that's for the future. But Aubameyang, he's levels above anybody at Arsenal at the moment. But I just think if a player doesn't want to be at the club, I think it could actually do more harm than good trying to keep him at the club. Because listen, although Aubameyang strikes me as the professional footballer and he will give his all on the pitch, you every time you see him play, you just know that he doesn't want to be at the club. And I don't think Arsenal at the moment, I don't think we can afford to have players that don't want to be at the club. I think we need to have fully committed players. It's like Arteta said when he first come into the club, if you're not on board with this project, then you're not what's needed at Arsenal. And I think if Aubameyang's head does get turned, if it's not already been turned, we're still yet to know what's really going on. But if his head has been turned, I think however talented he is and however much we might struggle without him, I think we're going to have to let him go. Of course, I'd love to keep him. I think he's an absolute quality player and he's our best player. But I just think, well, I don't see if we have any other choice if he wants to go.
Well, I come from a little different angle on this, and in any other circumstances, I would say yes. But we're not going to get the money that's available at the moment from every club is going to be skint anyway. And we're going to get offered, say, 20 million or 30 million. I don't think it's worth taking anyway. You might as well just let him run his contract down, to be quite honest with you. And I think he'll do that, and I don't think he'll make a fuss of it. And hopefully with that, he runs his contract down, and hopefully we have a good season and he then decides to stay. Because to me, if you're going to get 20, 30 million, what are you going to do with that? Nothing. You can't, I'm not being funny. You ain't getting nothing with that. And I just don't think the money's going to be there to make it worthwhile for us to sell Aubameyang in this summer. But I do respect your opinion, Daniel, on that.
But Claude, I'd rather have 30 million in the bank than let him walk out for free at the end of next year. I don't see. Listen, for too long we've let players walk out for free, and listen, 30 million is better than having no money in the bank. It's a smack in the face, Claude. 30 million is a joke. Let's not get it. Let's not make no mistake about it. 30 million is a joke, especially for Aubameyang and a player of his quality. But I would sooner have the 30 million than have him walk out the door for free. Listen, I think we need to recoup some money back. If I just don't see, I don't see the benefits of keeping him if he doesn't. I'm not saying that he's not going to do a job on the pitch, but if his heart's not in it, if your heart and your mind is elsewhere, and you know that you could have had the chance to go to either Barcelona or Real Madrid, and if the club actively stop you, that's going to cause a divide. And we know that when Aubameyang, let's not forget this, and this is not a dig at Aubameyang because I think he's a quality player, but let's not forget this, that when Dortmund denied his move, he started acting up a bit. When they initially before we signed him, he was linked with Man City, and Dortmund pulled the plug on that. So when they denied his move, you could see that in his last matches for Dortmund, you could just see him walking around the pitch, not really trying, not really doing. And do we really want that? We had that with Alexis Sanchez. Do we really want that with Aubameyang? Not saying that he is going to do that. I'm not saying he is going to do that, but that's the risk you run if you keep a player that doesn't want to be at the club.
Okay. Well, okay. I think there is made a good point on that, and maybe I'm looking at it from another angle, but it's opinions. Opinions are opinions.
Yeah, of course, mate. That's what it's all about, is opinions.
Melina has gone here. Afternoon, Daniel. and Claude, do you think women's football will be cancelled since women's football don't have enough funding as men's to be able to recover after COVID-19? I think the women's championships. I'm not sure what's happening with that at the moment, Melina. But yes, it's another thing that because they haven't got the money that the men have got to fund and carry on. So they're going to have to struggle. They might have to struggle to carry on their leagues as well. So, which is a shame because I think women's football now has come to a good level. I thought the technical level of the women's game is quite good. I've been watching a lot of the games on the BBC, and there've been some good games. There've been some really cracking games to watch. So,
I think
the level.
I think women. Listen, I think women's football is sometimes is better than the men's football in the sense that because you think in the men's football, right? There's all this. Listen, it's become very money orientated, whereas the women's football, you could tell that those teams are playing because they're passionate about the sport. Could you honestly say that with you look at the men's football and all that? Could you honestly say that they're as passionate as the women? Because a lot of players are going to be putting, thinking of the money but in women's football because they don't have that. They just seem a little bit more committed and passionate. That might be, wrong to say that, but listen, I just feel with the women's game, and some of those women are talented footballers. Do you know what I mean? They are talented, and it'd be a shame if this pandemic, it'd be a shame if this pandemic killed women's football because
definitely. Definitely, and that's the thing that's going to. No, I don't know what's going to happen there as well. This is a situation no one can even think of.
Yeah, it's completely unprecedented, Claude. It's completely.
Oh, yeah, well, this is one thing, Chadwick. Claude and Daniel, Chadwick. Good
afternoon to you, Chadwick. Listen, you're regular in my channel, and thank you.
Well, one of our regulars as well.
And thank you for your question, Melina, as well. Really good question.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Claude. He said, Claude and Daniel, would you rather have tea with Fabregas and Nasri, or the Queen of England at Buckingham Palace? Oh, I can definitely answer that one, but I'll let Daniel answer that one first.
So this is. Do you know what? I'd have to say. This is no disrespect to the Queen. No disrespect to the Queen, because I'm sure she's a lovely lady, but I think I'd rather have tea with Fabregas and Nasri simply because Fabregas. Listen, he was one of my favourite players when he was at Arsenal, and I know he left under. He said he would never go to Chelsea. And he went to, he ended up going to Chelsea, and Nasri went to Man City. But you see, I don't take that personally as some people, simply because these footballers, they're not Arsenal fans. They're professional footballers who are putting their career first rather than the love of the club. And you can't blame them for that. That's why I wouldn't have a problem if Aubameyang left the club, because at the end of the day, he's a professional footballer who's going to put his career first. And we have to, as fans, start accepting that these players, as much as they're a fan's favourite players, or, as much as, we like them, we have to understand that they are professional footballers and they've got their careers to think about. They're not, you're going to get the odd player who literally will only breed one club. Look at Messi with Barcelona. Listen, he's not moved. He's been there his whole career. So we have to just accept that the footballers have their careers to think about.
Yeah,
I know you see it differently, Claude. I know you.
I'd rather have tea with Ty than only them two. To be honest with you, never mind the Queen. If I'm not so bad with Nancy, I ain't got nothing to worry about fabric house. I think the teacups would be flying. Never mind them at all with them. So I mean, to be honest with you, mate, I'm not happy the way he left our football club. I'm not happy the way he refused to train. I'm not happy the way he told the club that if he wouldn't train unless he was granted his transfer. I didn't like I hated the way he carried on with the shirt business with the and that ex-Liverpool goalkeeper. What's his name? I forgot his bloody name.
Reina, Pepe Reina. Yeah, Pepe Reina, was that the
Reina. So I didn't like the way he carried on there. It was embarrassing. Remember, you're playing. This is Arsenal Football Club. Yeah, bigger than you'll ever be, my friend. Bigger than ever. Don't take the piss. You know what I'm saying? And you should be privileged to play for them. Never mind fucking doing that, all that bullshit you've done. So, you know, if it wasn't for Arsenal and developing him, he wouldn't be the player he is now. So you should have been grateful for that. So to me, I can't forgive him. I can never forgive him. That's the way I am. And then everyone's different.
Of course, listen, everybody's different.
Everyone is different. They might forgive him. I haven't forgiven him. He said he would never play for another English club again. What did he do? Went to Chelsea. So I will never play for Chelsea. I would never in a million years play for another English club. So there you go. So it's all cheap talk, cheap rubbish. As I said,
I think
Nasri, I think, was more to do with. I think the club didn't really show the ambition, and he was never really. He didn't come through like Fabregas come at a very young age. He came a bit later, and so he wasn't really that committed in the first place. So I don't have one way or the other with Sami Nasri. There you go. That's how I feel.
Yeah. What else we got in the chat, Claude? What questions we got?
Let me have a look, mate.
Just a reminder, everybody, do smash that subscribe button and the like button. Really appreciate it. So anybody who's in the chat who's not subscribed, what are you waiting for?
Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of. I'm trying to find something that's
going on here. What's
Chadwick said he doesn't like Nasri. He said he's it's the word beginning with P and ends with Y, and I don't think I can really say that on there. I'm just trying to say, oh my lads. Grant McRoberts says protests can work. Well, to a certain extent. I mean, if you're talking about protests when Heavy D comes out with his megaphone and starts blowing out. That's not going. I don't think that's going to work very far anyway. Let's have a look. Any more comments?
Yeah, get your questions in, guys. So get your questions in, ask us anything, and we'll discuss it. There's quite a few in the chat. I know there's quite a few people watching. Currently 14 people watching, so get your questions in.
Keep hitting the like button, by the way. Keep hitting the like button. Every like button, everyone that can hit the like button, that helps.
Yeah.
Follow along as well for Daniel.
And also the subscribe button. That's the one.
Let's get at least a target for me to get Daniel up to 500. At the moment, I think you're near 3. I think have you gone past 300 yet? Or are you on?
Yeah. I've gone past 300, so
well done. So
I'm
now
almost.
The target is 500. Let's get
500.
500, and then hopefully we'll get you to the 4-figure. Look, these things take time, Daniel. But
yeah, of course, yeah. I said I'll be happy, Claude, and I've said this to my viewers as well. So I've said that I'll be happy if I could get to by in a year's time. If I've got 1,000 subscribers, anything after that is a bonus. Do you know what I mean? If I can get that in a year's time, that's an absolute bonus. And I'm well on the way to that. So, that's.
Omar, another regular on your.
Yeah, it's regular on. Evening to you, Omar. Thanks for tuning in, mate.
Where was it? He had a good one here. I was talking. Are people overreacting to Aubameyang leaving, possibly leaving? He's a big player for Arsenal, so I'm not so sure if it's an overreaction, but he is a big player for the football club. Yes, here's the one. I don't know if you know much about this guy. Melina says, our thoughts on Jonathan Tah. I don't know much about him.
Jonathan Tah. Listen, I've not seen anything of Jonathan Tah. I've not. It's like people ask me about Saliba. I've not seen anything of him either. But I know a lot of people rate him. A lot of people think Saliba's going to be the next. The next Van Dijk, which is
Melina. I could sit here and waffle on and say and actually make out I've watched this guy about 150 times, like a lot of people on YouTube and whatever on Twitter or whatever the platforms are, and say they know him so well, they've watched him this and that, when they know fuck all about him. So I won't be doing that because I don't know much. I don't know nothing about it. So I'm being honest with you from the start. So, but for me, I don't know much about him. But
yeah.
You know what? Maybe because I'm a bit of a. I don't really watch too much football outside the Premier League. To be honest with you, I should do, but I don't. And
I watch a few of the La Liga games and the Bundesliga, but listen, I don't really. I don't pay much attention to it as much as I do the Premier League, which is.
I could go on YouTube and watch a 20-minute compilation of Jonathan Tah and say, "Oh yeah, he looks a really great player, doesn't he?" And then you can't go on that because YouTube will only show you the best bits. They don't show you the awful bits, do they? That's the problem.
Listen, YouTube
I remember watching a 20-minute clip of Marianne Shamak on YouTube. This is not a joke. And I thought, he looks quite talented, doesn't he? And then I thought, hold on a minute, hold on. No. And then I watched him play for us. And
YouTube can make me and you look good. YouTube can make me and you look good, Claude. Do you know what I mean?
Make me look. Anyone can make me look good, mate. I tell you. If anyone can make me look good, I'll give them £1 million tomorrow, mate. Jesus Christ! I don't think anyone can make me look that good, mate. God, Jesus, you've got to do a lot of work on me to make me look good, mate.
Same here, mate. Listen.
I remember people going on about Javinho. Well, have you seen him on YouTube? Yes,
yeah.
No, he looks wonderful. I'll never forget. Was in the pub in the pre-season. And this is how people get so over the top about pre-season games. I just look at them as.
You're gonna talk about Sonogo here because
Javinho. I'm talking about Javinho. And he scored one goal, which was a top goal, and people were saying Ian Wright, thinking that Ian Wright was back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ! I mean, they're already comparing him on a pre-season game to Ian Wright. This was in the pub, by the way.
Do you know what, mate? do you know what, Claude? On that, right? Do you know what makes me mad is that when people try and compare players, so like people go, "Oh yeah, Bamiyang's the next Thierry Henry, and so and so's the next Bergkamp, and such the next Kevin De Bruyne." Like, no, why can't they just be the first to them? Why do they have to be the next
Yeah.
anybody? Can't
Do you remember
you know?
that? What was it? Rio Miyachi. They said the new Japan. Was it the new Japanese? This is the way. The new Japanese Ronaldo.
Oh
Jeez.
yeah.
I remember that, and I couldn't believe it. The new Japanese Ronaldo. Jesus Christ, my God! I thought, but
Yeah, it's mad, Claude.
that's agents. That's agents selling players. That's agents. They
Yeah,
will sell you players and tell you this and that, and they're just not. They're not the players you think they are.
it is. It's mad, Claude. It is proper mad, mate. It is. It's just people just.
You go back to that player. Was it?
Sonogo.
I mean, Graham Souness got conned once, didn't he? Was it when he was at Southampton? I think it was Southampton. There's George Ware's cousin. He said, "Give this guy a chance." He put him on for 20 minutes, and then he took him on. He said, he thought it was George Ware's cousin.
Yeah. You know what, mate? I tell you what, Graham Souness, he comes out with some utter bollocks, doesn't he?
It was probably George Ware's milkman, never mind his brother, cousin. But anyway,
Graham Souness comes out with more bollocks than a politician. Do you know what I mean?
I like Graham Souness.
Do you really fit? I don't know, Claude. Like, I watch him and I'm just like, you don't have a clue, do you, mate, about football? Do you know what I mean? You don't have an absolute clue. The only pundit who I think actually is sort of honest enough to say that teams are crap is Paul Merson. I literally love Paul Merson. You know, I love his opinions, and comes on and he doesn't sugarcoat it. He doesn't sugarcoat it like a lot of the media does. He says it how it is.
Souness will come straight out. Souness won't mess about either. But I'm surprised you think that way. I like Souness. I think he's another one that won't sit and take nonsense. I look at some of these other pundits. I don't even know how they get a job. I mean, I look at Jermaine Genius, how apparently he's going to be the face of the BBC. God help us. And what do you call it? Kevin Kilban, and I think how these people making pundits? How are they making pundits?
Yeah, they just pull them out of the air and just think.
I just don't know. I don't get it. But it's all about opinions. It's all about opinions. Doesn't mean I'm right. Doesn't mean I'm wrong. It's opinions.
Absolutely. What are people putting in the chat, Claude? What people are saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to find something for you, Daniel, because wait a minute, mate. Let's have a look.
Remember, guys, do smash the like button. That's really important. And subscribe. Do keep hitting that subscribe button.
I'm a Guna Terry. Yeah, I can't stay too long, Daniel. I've got another 5-10 minutes because I've got.
No. Listen, I was going to wrap up now anyway, Claude.
Listen, I'm going to find a couple of questions before you go.
Yeah. So before we go, get your questions in. We'll go for another 5 to 10 minutes.
Terry, Terry. Jack is honestly the worst. This is from Omar at Terry. He was. I think he's responding to Terry Imaguna, who is a big fan. I think of Granit Xhaka, a massive fan.
Do you know the thing is, right? Do you know the thing is, I was talking about this to Kevin Campbell yesterday, and I was saying that Granit Xhaka is a bit of a weird one because he has 5 or 6 consistent games where he'll do okay, and people will think he's turned a corner, and then actually he will do something absolutely horrendous, and then everybody will be like, "Oh, we should get rid of Xhaka," and then people will be like, "Well, you know, we should be keeping him because he's had a good run. Listen, these players lack consistency. A lot of these players lack consistency, and in order to win the league, you've got to be consistent over 38 games. Now, it's all well and good doing it in a cup run, about 6 or 7 games, or 8 games possibly. But you if you're going to have aspirations of winning the league, you need to do it over 38 games and at some tricky grounds as well. You know, at some difficult grounds, and I think that's been Arsenal's problem for years, is that we have not had consistency. We've had players that have turned it on for the odd game. So like we'll have the odd game and the players will play out their skin and it'll be like, oh my God, we actually play like a team, but they don't have the mental capacity or they don't have the, you know, the strength, the mental strength to keep that up consistently for 38 games. And that's been our problem for years. But I do believe Arteta is going to change that. I really do, Claude. I really think that. Listen, I think we've got ourselves a good young manager there who is, you know, given the right backing, give him the right funds. I think he's going to do an absolute amazing job. But it's just whether that he gets the right funds.
Yeah. It's not. I don't think there's anything else coming in, Daniel. But let's have a look. I'm a good great show, Daniel. But I need to go. But great show. Thank you very much for putting it on.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna. Well, if there's nothing else, then.
Well, I mean, let me see if there's one more question, one more comment for you. No, nothing to really. Nothing to. Listen.
Well, I guess we'll wrap up then.
Thank you, everyone in the chat.
Yeah, thanks, guys, for coming on. Thank you, Claude, for coming on. Listen, I know it's been a bit. I just wanted to do this chat and Q&A. Listen, a lot of my viewers, I do this.
Daniel, and as soon as I can get. How can I say? As soon as I can get this worked out about moderating and all that, I'll.
Yeah, definitely, and I'll definitely like I said, I think I can do it if you comment under this. Once this goes out, comment under it, and then I think I can do it that way. But I'll talk to you about that.
Let me put something up. I don't know if you can see. Let me put something up for you. Bear with us, everyone. I just want to help Daniel along, and I hope you understand why I'm doing this. Let me put something up. But funny enough, this is not even allowing me to make comments. Why is that happening there?
Yeah, this is really it's really weird.
No, I can't make. I don't know why I can't make comments while I'm on here. I don't know why. I don't understand that. I'll talk to Terry. I'll tell you what, because Terry knows a lot about this. I'll talk to Terry in the next hour or so, and we'll see what I can come up with, and I'll let you know in the next few hours what we can do.
Yeah. No worries. And listen, thanks for that, because I want. Listen, I'll chat to you off air. But I want to put something to you as well off air. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this up now because, listen, we've been going for almost an hour. I'd just like to say a massive thanks to Claude for coming on. Massive thank you to everybody who's been watching in the chat. Do smash the subscribe button, please. I'd really appreciate that. And do hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. I know you probably get that from a lot of YouTubers going saying that, but it really does help the channel grow, especially because I'm a small channel. So any like, any subscribe really helps the channel grow. And I know a lot of my regulars know that I do like to interact with a lot of you guys, even in the comments section. I come in and reply to the comments. So I do take the time to try and get back to you all. Because let's be honest, without you guys, there'd be no channel. So you guys are important, a big part of that. And also do go and check out the show with Kevin Campbell if you just want to watch that back, or if you've not watched it, or if you've not watched it all the way through. That's up there now, so go and check that out. I'm going to be back same time tomorrow with my with this usual stream. Until then, take care, guys.